Long before the Kurus, heaven itself was at war. Devas and asuras, gods and demons, fought age after age for the lordship of the three worlds, and each army marched behind a great teacher. Brihaspati, master of the Vedas, guided the gods. The profound Sukracharya counseled the demons, and Sukracharya held one secret that tilted the whole war. The secret was called Sanjivini, the art of calling the dead back to life. Every demon who fell in battle rose again by Sukracharya's word, while the fallen gods stayed fallen. Imagine fighting an enemy who cannot stay dead. That was the war the Devas were losing forever. So the gods came, almost ashamed, to a young Brahmacharya Kacha, son of their own teacher Brihaspati. Go to Sukracharya, they begged. Become his pupil, win his trust, win his household, and somehow bring back the secret of Sanjivini. It was asking a student to walk alone into the enemy's citadel. Kacha went through the gates of Vrishparva's demon capital, past warriors who would have killed him for sport, straight to the door of Sukracharya himself. He bowed low, a boy with an honest face, and the most dangerous errand in the three worlds folded quietly inside him. I am Kacha, he said, grandson of Angiras, son of Brihaspati, come to seek knowledge at your feet. Now the law of teachers is older than the war of gods. A worthy pupil is never turned away. Sukracharya smiled. For the honor of Brihaspati, he said, I accept you. And the enemy's son entered the house. Years passed, and Kacha served to perfection. The fire tended, the cattle grazed, every duty done before it was asked. And there was Devayani, Sukracharya's only daughter, the jewel of his heart. Kacha sang for her, danced attendance on her, made her laugh, all within his students' woes, never once beyond them. And so, gently, without either of them announcing it, Devayani's fondness deepened into love. The two were always together, her laughter answering his songs through the demon city's quiet lanes. Kacha kept every vow he had taken. But hearts keep no vows, and hers had already chosen. The asuras, though, had been counting the years too, and they did not like the arithmetic. Why does Brihaspati's son serve our teachers so sweetly? What does he really want in that household? They guessed the answer, and they were right. So the demons began to watch the cattle pads and wait. They caught him alone in the pastures at dusk. No challenge, no trial. The asuras simply tore the boy to pieces and threw what remained to the dogs and went home satisfied that the problem was solved. As night fell, Sukracharya's cattle wandered back to the city by themselves. Devayani saw the herd come home unherded and felt the ground shift under her. She ran to her father. The sun is down, your evening fire is lit, and Kacha has not returned. The cattle came back alone. Father, something has happened to him. I cannot live if he is gone. What could a doting father refuse? Sukracharya spoke the Sanjivini, and out in the darkness, the scattered pieces of Kacha remembered each other. He walked in through the door, whole and smiling, as if returning late from an errand. The first death had lasted half an evening. Where were you? Devayani demanded, joy and fury together. The asuras fell on me while I grazed the herd, Kacha told her simply. They killed me. How I stand here now, I cannot say, but here I am. He said it lightly. Neither of them yet understood what game had begun. The demons tried again. They caught Kacha gathering forest flowers for Devayani, killed him, ground his body to paste, and stirred it into the sea itself. Let the Sanjivini find him now, scattered through all that water. Again, the hours stretched. Again, Devayani stood before her father, white with fear. And again, the master's art proved stronger than the sea. Kacha stood dripping new before them and told his second death like a traveler's tale. Something in Devayani settled then, past all doubt. This boy, who kept dying for her father's household, was the one life she would not do without. The third plot was the clever one. The asuras burned Kacha's body to fine ash, stirred the ash into wine, and served the cup to Sukracharya. The old master drank, suspecting nothing. Now the boy was hidden where no search would ever think to look. Inside the one man who could revive him. Once more the cattle came home alone. Once more Devayani came to her father. But this time Sukracharya only sighed. I have raised him twice, child. The asuras are plainly determined. Death comes to all. You are young. The world is kind to you. It does not become the wise to grieve so. But no wise words have ever cured love. Kacha was blameless, Devayani said. Devoted, tireless, mine. If he is dead, then life is a house with the lamps out, and I will not sit in the dark. She refused food. She refused water. Her fast began that night. Watching his daughter starve, Sukracharya's sorrow caught fire and became wrath. Killing a Brahman, again and again, in his own service, was a sin that would sink the Asura's fortunes like a stone. Very well. If they would not let the boy live, the master would raise him a third time. He spoke the Sanjivini and called Kacha to appear. And Kacha answered from inside him. The wine had carried the boy's ashes into the master's own body, and there the art had rebuilt him, alive, whole, and trapped. His muffled voice rose from within Sukracharya like a man calling out of a well. Boy, how are you inside me? The master thundered. Is this another demon trick? Tell me everything. And from within, Kacha told the whole tale. The pasture, the sea, the wine cup. Sukracharya's fury overflowed at the asuras and at the drink that had smuggled death into him. From this day, he proclaimed, virtue abandons the fool who clouds his mind with wine. Let all humanity mark it. Then the anger drained away, and what remained was arithmetic more terrible than any battle. For Kacha to live, he must steer his way out of the body that held him, and that body was Sukracharya's. Father or beloved, one of them had to die. Devayani stood between the two halves of her heart and wept. Either way, she said, I do not survive this. Then the truth of it all flashed on the old master, and he almost laughed. Son of Brihaspati, so this is what you came for, and by the gods, you have earned it. Hear me then. I will teach you the Sanjivini now, from within. When you burst out of me, I will fall dead, and you, pupil, will raise your teacher. So the secret of life passed to Kacha in the strangest classroom the worlds have known. And he came forth, like the full moon tearing through a cloud, leaving the master broken on the ground. And the first thing the newborn Kacha did with his new knowledge was kneel and speak it, calling his own teacher back from death. Sukracharya opened his eyes to find his pupil bowing before him. You gave me wisdom like a father, Kacha said, and I have come out of your body like a son. You are both my parents now. And he stayed on, serving his master for years more, until his vow was complete. When at last, Kacha took leave for the world of the gods, Devyani spoke her heart with a learned woman's frankness. I have loved you through every one of your deaths. Marry me. And Kacha answered with terrible gentleness. I came out of your father's body. That makes me his son and your brother. Do not ask me to sin. She raged. She pleaded. He bowed, blessed her, and rose toward Indra's heaven with the secret the gods had waited ages for. Sukracharya consoled his daughter. But mark this wounded pride of hers. It is about to change the fate of kings.